Flora, triathlon, being a triathlete globally, I mean, it's a major sport around the world, and growing all the time. What do you think the impact of having the magazine shot in Bermuda, and you being from Bermuda, would have a lasting effect on those triathletes and people that want to get involved in it, that read the magazine?
Yeah, it's great for Bermuda. I often get asked when I'm abroad at a race, like, how are you a triathlete from Bermuda? Like, it's such a small little island. They're like amazed. And so now, hopefully with the magazine spread, that they'll be able to see and read about Bermuda and understand why Bermuda is such a great destination to come and do triathlon, or to come here as an outdoors kind of enthusiast, sort of tourist, that kind of demographic.
Now, I often look at a lot of sports magazines. Triathlon is one that I do look at every now and then. But just to get a viewership and get to know about the country that you represent just about every time you go out there, do you think now it would broaden people's perspective on this tiny little place?
Yeah, totally. Because I tell people, I'm like, yeah, Bermuda, it's 21 square miles long, and immediately they're like, that is so small. Like, how do you possibly ride your bike there?
Right.
And I'm like, no, come on, you can. And I try to explain as best as I can, but everyone still is like, a little skeptical. But, hopefully this will, back up what I say, that it is a great place to come ride a bike and to swim and to run. And the community here is fantastic. There's loads of races, triathlon races and cycling races, running races. There's almost a race every weekend that you can do, which I think is exciting for a triathlete or an outdoorsy athletic tourist that wants to come and have a nice holiday, but also do a race, kind of combine two passions, whether it's travel and athletics.
Yeah. Now, you travel all over the world doing what you love to do, and that's compete, whether it's exterior, whether it's triathlon. But when you're abroad, and what are some of the most questions you get asked about Bermuda?
Gosh. Well, probably first it's about the triangle, which I try and brush off immediately because that's the most annoying question I ever get asked.
We'll get you a t-shirt that says, don't ask me about the triangle.
But probably second is like, well, how are you like from Bermuda, and where is it, I get that a lot, and then I explain to them where it is, and what sort of island it is and how pretty it is and great for training. And then the next question is, but it's so small, like how do you train there? And then slowly but surely I bring out a little bit of information, and then they slowly are like, okay, cool, start to understand a bit more about the island and how great it is and everything.
Now, you've been spending a lot of time in this, what we would consider off-season of triathlon, doing the exterior World Championships, and congratulations on your World Championship. But when you're competing in such a large place, what are some of the things that you focus back on about Bermuda that will get you through those big challenges of competing in such a large area?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, maybe it's that I think back into how much support that I get from the island, and that I know so many people are following and interested in how I'm doing and want to see me do well. So maybe I just, think back on that, and that's kind of reassuring, and I don't know, it's very positive, and, just gives me a bit of confidence, and, try and do my best to promote Little Bermuda and put it on the map, and, show people that, people from small little places can perform and be on the world stage.
Now, you've been to several Olympics too?
Yes, too.
Now, when you go to major festivals like that, when you walk into the rooms in the villages, the Olympic Association kind of try to decorate, make you feel at home. Mm-hmm. Is that some of the things that you would like to see throughout an Olympic village or a Pan American village? The countries decorating not just inside their little cottages, but all around the village?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when you're at a major games, you're there representing your country, and you're proud to be there for, Bermuda or wherever. And so to see a little bit of the island scattered around the village or in where we're staying, it's really great and makes you remember, like, okay, I'm doing this for myself, obviously, and for Bermuda, and yeah, it's a very cool thing.
Yeah. A little bit on yourself personally, your injuries. How are we updating?
Yeah, it's good. It's a little slow going. I kind of pushed the injury a bit too far. I had to race on it. And it was my fault. I should have been more careful, but you get greedy when you're racing so well and you're achieving success. And so I pushed it too far, and now it's a slow, steady progression back up. But things are moving in the right direction. So hopefully I proceed with caution and don't have any barriers in the way.
Working alongside the Department of Tourism or the Tourism Authority, what sort of relationship are you building with them to kind of keep spreading the Bermuda message while you're traveling?
Yeah, well, this is my first time actually doing something formally with them. Previously, I always speak highly of Bermuda because I love it here. It's where I'm from. My family lives here. So I don't know, hopefully we could continue to build a relationship. I would love to promote Bermuda and represent Bermuda as further in the future, which I will obviously through my racing, but that's a great avenue and platform to promote Bermuda and gain more exposure.
And that's one thing that I noticed. No one could promote Bermuda better than a Bermudian themselves. I truly believe that. And having you out on the world stage every time you're in a race or leading up to a race, it says Flora Duffy from Bermuda. And those are the type of things no amount of money can pay for something like that, because people start getting interested in, Bermuda. That's she's from Bermuda. She's from that little tiny little place. Are you overwhelmed at times when you're out in there and you're only from a small place, but you're competing amongst, and you're one of them, some of the best female triathletes in the world?
Yeah, it can be a little daunting sometimes, because obviously I go to a lot of these major races by myself, and other countries, like say for example the US, they'll have like 3 coaches there, a masseuse, a mechanic, a this, a that, and teammates and like everything, and I'm like, oh wow, it's just like me and my bike, but let's go, so in that way it's
it's you against the world.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like, I mean, obviously I've had to like build relationships myself, and I have done, but at times it can be a little scary, but I'm 27 now, and I'm used to racing on the world circuit sort of by myself. And yeah, people are always willing to help me out because they're like, oh, that's Flora from Bermuda, and yeah, so everyone's quite friendly and will help me where I can. Yeah, so it's cool. And going back to what you were saying earlier about Flora from Bermuda giving the island exposure, I think also because I'm from such a small, unique place, and it's only me, it automatically gives me a great profile in the sport, and also Bermuda, like I don't get lost in, it's just another American, it's just another Australian. It's like, oh wow, this girl is from Bermuda. I go, what's this Bermuda place all about? And so it's very cool. It's great for me, and it's great for Bermuda.
Yeah. When you first started competing in the series over in South Africa?
Yes.
The exterior.
Yeah.
When you were doing the. What did you learn from the people over there, and what were they trying to learn from you about this little tiny place?
Yeah, well,
it was new.
It was new. Yeah. Thing is, when I first raced in South Africa, I'd been living there, not living there, but training there for like 6 weeks, maybe 2 months before.
Right.
So people kind of knew that I was from Bermuda, and they were very intrigued as to how I came about to come from Bermuda,
right,
and then also what the island was about. Yeah, and I think they were shocked that there's a Bermudian girl doing Xterra, because they're like, there's mountain biking in Bermuda, and even though I learned most of my mountain bike skills in South Africa,
right,
it's still everyone, no matter what race I'm at or where I am, they're intrigued of, oh, Flora, Bermuda, wow, that's cool, that's interesting, that's unique. So
you think you get your nerves on that mountain bike from these tiny little roads here in Bermuda?
Yeah. Every time I come back, I'm like, oh wow, these are small little roads. Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. I think, I grew up doing a lot of bike racing in Bermuda. I mean, the Bermuda Bicycling Association is so well supported, and they have so many races that I grew up doing those, and that gave me great bike handling skills. And, most of the time I was racing like with older women or older men because there wasn't that many juniors at the time, and I just had to learn quickly.
Looking at some of the photos of the exterior racing, cliffside, lakes, hillside, mountains, you ever get nervous when competing? Do you get a chance to see the course beforehand, or you just...
Oh, yeah. No, pre-riding the course is almost mandatory from my point of view.
Right.
I'll always try and ride the course at least once, and for, say, Maui, I'll ride it like 2 or 3 times and then go focus in on certain sections that I'm struggling with, just because it can make such a huge difference. Like, the attention to detail is heightened in an Xterra. You can gain or lose so much time just by messing up a few little things.
Right.
So that's something is really important. And unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to do much of the mountain biking here, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be back in November, and I'll bring my mountain bike then and do some of the races. And it'd be great to see what the local organizations have.
I know. What is it? It's a flat tire massive. They put together so they'll be looking to put together. If you tell them you're coming in certain dates, they'll be looking to put together some challenging courses.
Yeah, but no, it's so cool. I've heard some people speak so highly of the mountain biking here, and that it's just exposed them to new parts of the island they didn't know existed, or that there was such trails around. And obviously some parts are beautiful, like if you're riding in Hog Bay and you're like literally along the coast and there's the water, and it's just beautiful. So I really look forward to exploring that.
Your thoughts on the America's Cup?
Yeah, I don't know too much about sailing. My younger brother's the sailor, but I know it's a huge opportunity for Bermuda. I mean, some of my friends that aren't involved in triathlon and only know Bermuda, through knowing me, they're like, America's Cup, that's in Bermuda, Flora, like, it's amazing. Obviously it's a huge thing in the U.S. or worldwide, and just from them saying like, it's an amazing opportunity for Bermuda. It's like, I want to go visit Bermuda when the America's Cup is on. So I can only imagine that the closer it gets, the more and more people are going to be exposed to Bermuda and interested in it and see it on TV, and it's a huge opportunity for the island.
So now you got a new saying you can tell all your competitors, I'm hosting the World Cup and I'm hosting the America's Cup and you can't beat me.
I don't know how much weight that holds in triathlon, but
you get the New Zealanders, they gotta come. So they gotta come, and you gotta tell them this, and I can set you up with some nice friendly people. And,
that's true,
But thank you for your time. I know you've got other appointments to go to, but thank you very much, and good luck when you head back, and hopefully the injuries will heal and you'll be ready to go come Paralympic Games.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
So 2 weeks from now you're doing what?
It's an Xterra in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hopefully if all goes to plan.
Right.
But I don't want to come back too early and then push things back for Pan Am, because obviously Pan Am is a bigger goal than the Xterra.
Now you've on your triathlon, you've racked up quite a few points early in the season. Is that just coming off the heels of the Xterra, where you felt good about yourself and getting right into that competition?
I think Xterra has definitely helped build my confidence. That I can actually do this and do it well. And that's a huge part of racing at the top level. It's believing in yourself and having the confidence. But also I think it's just been a steady progression. Mm-hmm. This is my second year sort of racing full-time, not, previously I was in school, and it's just taken time, I think, to find my rhythm and like really recognize what it takes to be professional, that it's eat, sleep, train, rest. You don't do too many social activities because that tires you out, and just being super focused, and that's what I've been doing, and it seems to be paying off. Also really working on my running, getting very specific there, which unfortunately for me leads to injury. I have to be super careful. This ITU stuff it's tough on your body. Like Xterra, I'm fine because it's a totally different way that you train, where for training for ITU, it's so intense and so speed orientated that my body doesn't seem to mesh too well with it, so I have to really be careful.
Your message to any young athlete that wants to be a professional at any sport they want, just the commitment needed and time and just the challenges that they will face, that you can possibly give them words of encouragement to try and overcome.
Sure, yeah, it's a huge commitment, but I think my biggest message would be that, don't get too focused too early. Like, if you're still young, still enjoy a lot of sports. I mean, obviously, if you have a favorite sport, you want to be a swimmer, commit to your swimming, but you also have to be a kid and enjoy life. And as you get older, you must become more focused and detail-orientated in your training.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.